Good morning, children. So today we are going to learn about environmental studies of class 5th lesson, methods of preserving food. In our previous lesson, that was food for all. We learned about various agricultural activities, agricultural seasons, agricultural work, some methods of agriculture, then improve methods of agriculture, improved seeds, methods, modern methods of irrigation we learn. Also, we learn about sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation. So fertilizers, which fertilizers are used, natural fertilizers, artificial fertilizers. Then protection of crops, how the crop protected, because pest attacks and can damage the crops in the field. So we learn about storage of grains. So this we learn in our previous lesson. Then how the food storage and conservation of environment that we learn in our previous lesson. Now we learn about some methods of preserving food. How the food items, how the food preserve means we can use for these food items for a long time. Okay, so food security is also there. So let's learn about food preservation. Why food preservation is important? So it's a question. You know, the primary objective of food preservation is to prevent food spoilage until it can be consumed. है ना, कोई भी food item हम लोग खाते हैं उसमें lots of nutrients which are present in the food. So to keep that nutrients, we have to preserve the food. It's a very important method because it prevents the food spoilage until it can be consumed. Okay, so gardens often produce too much food at one time. मतलब too much of fruits we get from the seasonal fruits होते, कुछ कुछ guava, mango, there's seasonal fruits होते. ये हमें जो seasonal fruits है जो particular season में हमें मिलते हैं, है ना? So we have to preserve for long time. इसलिए हम लोग उसका सॉस, टोमेटो इसका सॉस बना के रखते हैं, स्क्वैश बना के रखते हैं, उसका शरबत बना के रखते हैं. So hence we can use this for long period of time. So hence food preservation is an important method. So garden often produce too much food at one time, more than can be eaten before spoilage sets in. Preserving food also offer the opportunity to have a wide variety of food year round. So that is the preservation of food. Okay, children, so let's learn. So what are the benefits of food preservation? The benefits of home food preservation, that is reduces waste at the landfill, then more choices, eat healthier food. So these are the benefits. So let's learn about some methods how we can preserve the food. So let's learn. We need wheat, rice, pulses, etc. throughout the year, but their crops get ready only at a certain time of the year. In order to have the grains available throughout the year, one season's crop must be stored and protected till the next season. Okay, कि next season तक के वो crops को protect करना रहता है. Then different food stuffs are produced in different places. They have to be made available in good condition to the people at long distances. Then, for example, it must be ensured that eggs, milk and milk products remain in good condition during transport from their dairy or the poultry farm till they reach their users. So to keep food products for long period of time in good condition, we have to preserve the food items. Okay. So next, some different methods are there. Different fruits and vegetables are available in abundance in different seasons. They also test their best in that season. To prevent the large quantities of fruits and vegetables from getting spoiled and to enjoy them all year around, we make efforts to preserve them. Okay? So, जो भी फूड है उसका स्पॉइलेज नहीं होना चाहिए. फ्रूट्स क्या होते हैं, जल्दी खराब हो जाते हैं ना, इसलिए उसका टेस्ट खराब नहीं होना चाहिए, वो स्पॉइल नहीं होने चाहिए, उसकी क्वालिटी वैसे से मेंटेन रहनी चाहिए, इसलिए हम लोग फूड को प्रिजर्व करते हैं. ओके. सो वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ पापड्स, जैम्स एंड जेलीज, पिकल्स, ऑनियंस, फिश, masalas are prepared and preserved for whole year in many homes. Usually in the summer season, है ना, मम्मी लोग भी आपकी समर सीजन में पापड़ बनाती है, अचार बनाती है, या कोई भी चीज है लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम आपको रखनी है तो उसको आप सुखा के भी रख सकते हो, यूजुअली इन द समर सीजन. So nowadays we can buy such a ready-made products in the market too. So मार्केट में भी ये प्रिजर्व्ड आइटम से आपको मिलते हैं, जैसे कि अचार मिलता है, पापड़ मिलता है ना, कुछ प्रकार की जो चीजें होती है वो सारी रेडीमेड अवेलेबल होती है मार्केट में, कि वो जो सब प्रिजर्व करके रखते हैं, क्योंकि उसका टेस्ट नहीं बदलना चाहिए, वो खराब नहीं होने चाहिए, इसीलिए. ओके. पापड़, कुरोड़ी मिलती है ना मार्केट में, सांडगे मिलते हैं, जो दही मिर्ची मिलती है, वो सब जो हम लोग सुखा के रखते हैं, उसको प्रिजर्व करके रखते हैं और होल ईयर हम लोग उसको अच्छे से यूज करते हैं. टू अवॉइड हैविंग टू गो टू द मार्केट फॉर द प्रोविजंस अगेन एंड अगेन, वी स्टोर व्हाट वी नीड टू सेवरल डेज इन अवर हाउसेस. ओके. सो if the food prepared for one meal is not finished, then we use certain methods of keeping it from spoiling in order to have it again the next time or the next day. So this is about then food and how to, what do you see? We see sometimes what happen, usually in the rainy season, some food items spoil very oftenly. So that's why we have to keep it proper place to preserve the food items. Can you tell this? Talk the elderly people in your family to find the answer of these questions. So some questions are there. You have to discuss these questions with your elders. So milk, vegetables, grains, flours, sugar, jaggery with reference to the foodstuff mentioned below. Some question answers I'm going to ask. When do you say that the foodstuff is spoiled? What changes are seen in it? Then is the time in which foodstuff gets spoiled different in different seasons? Then which foodstuff spoil most quickly? These are the questions. So you have to give answers of these questions. Then if we know the seasons why foodstuff go bad, we would know what to do to keep them from spoiling. कौन से सीजन में foodstuff जल्दी खराब होते हैं, क्यों spoil होते हैं, आपको वो देखना है. From the information you obtain, you must have gathered the following. In winter, now winter season is there. In the cold weather, foodstuff keep longer. If they are kept in a refrigerator or kept cold on ice, they keep even longer. आपने देखा होगा कि कोई भी चीजें हम लोग फ्रिज में रखते हैं, क्योंकि फ्रिज में क्या होता है, टेम्परेचर लोअर्स डाउन होता है, और लोअर्स डाउन टेम्परेचर होने से क्या होता है कि माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स की ग्रोथ नहीं होती है, ज्यादा फास्ट नहीं होती, और फूडस्टफ बहुत देर तक अच्छे रहते है usually in winter season due to temperature. Very cold temperature occurs, so we can keep the foodstuff even for a longer period of time, usually in the winter season, or when we store this into the refrigerator or ice cold fridge. Then grains are dried, है ना. grains जो होते हैं, wheat, rice, दाल, जो भी grains होते हैं, they are dried in the season before storing. अच्छे से अगर उसको ड्राई करके रखो आप, उसके अंदर का मॉइस्चर रिड्यूस हो जाएगा. ड्राई करके रखो तो वो चीज साल भर खराब नहीं होती, यूजुअली ग्रेन्स. Then onions and potatoes are kept to dry in open air in summer and then stored in a dry places. जो onions है वो सूखा होता है, उसको अच्छे से ड्राई करके रखना चाहिए. Potatoes also you dry in air press in summer and then stored in a dry place to keep it longer time. If we boil milk, it does not get spoiled immediately. हम दूध देखो, हम लोग जब मार्केट से दूध लाते तो उसको सबसे पहले उबाल के रखते हैं to keep it for longer period of time. इसके अंदर जो बैक्टीरिया होते हैं उसकी ग्रोथ नहीं होती, इसलिए दूध को हम लोग बॉईल करके रखते हैं to keep it for longer period of time. Okay. Then curries and vegetable preparations are brought to a boil to prevent them from spoiling till the next meal. उसको भी हम लोग अच्छे से पका के रखते हैं, अच्छे से बॉईल करके रखते हैं करीज और. Okay. Then milk, mango pulp are food that spoil quickly. इसलिए हम लोग उसको उबाल के रखते हैं. मैंगो पल्प को हम लोग फ्रीज करके रखते हैं, मिल्क को उबाल के रखते हैं to keep it for longer period of time. फिर भी जो दूध है वो ज्यादा देर तक अच्छा नहीं रह सकता. Our food has to be kept away from ants, cockroaches, other insects, mice, rats and cats. They damage our foodstuffs, so you should keep it at proper place. You should keep foodstuff away from these harmful insects or animals like ants, cockroaches, other insects, mice, cats and rats. Okay, so this is about the spoiling of food. Then sometimes we see white, black or greenish fibers like cotton wool growing on the piece of the chapati placed in a closed box or on a bread. हम लोग कुछ दिन अगर ब्रेड रहती है वैसे ही मॉइस्चर प्लेस में, तो इसके ऊपर हम लोग एक कॉटन सब्सटेंस जैसे कुछ चीजें जो ग्रोइंग स्टेज पे ग्रो होती हुई हमें दिखती है, जो कि वाइट, ब्लैक और ग्रीनिश कलर में आती है, so that it also starts smelling. Whereas for several days we see no such changes in the crisp piece of chapati at one that was put in the fridge. फ्रिज में अगर हम लोग चपाती रखते हैं तो उस पे हमें ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं दिखती है. कंपेयर दिस, एक जो ब्रेड होता है हम लोग एक ब्रेड फ्रिज में रखेंगे, एक ब्रेड का पीस हम लोग बाहर डैम प्लेस में रखेंगे. कि जो डैम प्लेस पे अपने जो ब्रेड का पीस रखा है उसके ऊपर आपको कॉटन फाइबर जैसी कुछ चीज निकलती हुई आई हुई दिखेगी, और जो फ्रिज में रखा है ब्रेड का पीस उस पे हमें कुछ भी नहीं दिखेगा. So compare this. So when you keep this in the refrigerator due to low temperature of the fridge, so the bacteria or the जो भी फंगस है उसके ऊपर ग्रो नहीं होता हुआ दिखेगा due to low temperature. But when you keep the bread outside the fridge, you will see the cotton structure like mucor that is present on the bread. So you should keep your food inside the refrigerator to store for a long period of time. Okay. So this cotton wool like fibers growth on the chapati or bread is a kind of fungus. A fungus is a type of microorganism. Fungus is a microorganism, means which we have to use but to see a microscope. We cannot see this with our naked eyes. The spores of fungus are present in the air and water. The chapati in the box or the bread in the box created the favorable condition for the growth of that fungus. Availability of food, water, warmth, air. That's why the fungus grew on the chapati in the box. कि जो भी फेवरेबल कंडीशन है फंगस की ग्रोथ के लिए वो सब अवेलेबल होंगे उसको एटमॉस्फेयर में, हेंस इट ग्रोज. और जो की कंडीशन जो ब्रेड आपने फ्रिज में रखी है वो कंडीशंस उसको अवेलेबल नहीं मिलेंगी फ्रिज में, इसलिए वहां पे फंगस ग्रो नहीं हुआ है. सो दैट्स व्हाई, that is the reason why is this so. Okay, so this is about the food stuff, how the food stuff preserve, why we preserve the food stuff. It's a reason to keep it for longer period of time. We should have to keep the food stuff in a proper place. We should have to preserve the food stuff. Okay, children, in our next video, we will learn about some food and microorganisms. How the microorganisms spoil the food. Okay, so bye everyone.